Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. A new me. As you guys can see, that I've had a clean shave, had a haircut, looking fresh. And I think you guys probably will enjoy watching or enjoy viewing it a lot more than seeing me like a proper, like I was in a jungle somewhere, and I hadn't, cleaned myself for like a month or something, so yeah, I was in a bad way, but now clearly look much better, what shall I say, aesthetically more pleasing to watch or view my videos, I should say. But yeah, guys, sorry, just quick. Yeah, guys, I just had some spicy pasta. It's very early in the morning. It was about like 6:45 in the morning. I just had some pasta and stuff, very spicy. So I had a drink of water. My mouth burning. But yeah, I want to get into this. Apparently, Oscar De La Hoya has said that Isaac Cruz has turned down a fight with Ryan Garcia, King Rye. Very, very disappointing news. I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know whether it's because they didn't think the offer was sufficient. Maybe they didn't have enough time. I don't know exactly the details behind it. But we know that, on Twitter, I read that, Oscar De La Hoya has said that, they've turned down, and it was a bigger offer according to Oscar De La Hoya. And we can't always believe promoters, but according to Oscar De La Hoya, it was a bigger offer than the one that he got to fight Tank. So it doesn't make sense why he would turn that down. Very disappointing news, by the way, because Ryan Garcia needs a fight. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, they're as some people like to say, capping. There was no intention from Golden Boy to fight Isaac Cruz, hence why they put in a poor offer. And according to Oscar De La Hoya, it was more than he got paid to fight Tank. However, now Isaac Cruz has become commercially a bigger name. His value has increased significantly. Prior to fighting Tank, let's remember that Isaac Cruz wasn't really a name. Everybody was saying this is a cherry for Tank. After such a good performance, Isaac Cruz's stock rose. Hence, he probably deserves a bigger payday. He probably deserves more money for that particular fight. So it's very, very disappointing that, that they haven't been able to get this deal over the line. If I was Oscar De La Hoya, I would definitely go back with another offer and try to make the deal, because I think it would be a good statement for Ryan Garcia to come back. And if he was to knock out Isaac Cruz, which by no means an easy fight, it'd be a very tough fight for him. It will be a statement in the lightweight division, and it'd be a statement for Ryan to say that, he's a force in the lightweight division. I personally think that they should look to make that fight. And they should try being quite aggressive about it, because I think Ryan Garcia can definitely benefit from fighting Isaac Cruz. And especially if he puts in a good performance, I think his stock will rise. Not to say that Ryan Garcia needs his stock to rise, because he's already a star. Even though when you look at his boxing achievements on the world scene and the resume, it's not great, but this would definitely be his toughest opponent and his biggest win, in my opinion, because Cruz is a real good... And let's not forget, Campbell was a good win. That was a great win, but I think the performance probably... I wouldn't want to say expose Ryan Garcia, because he won the fight. And, when you're fighting good fighters, you do, go through adversity. But I think people weren't expecting him to get dropped the way he did. I think, especially off Luke Campbell, who isn't known for being a big puncher. He's more of a boxer. And he got dropped heavy in that fight. Fair enough, he got back up and won the fight. But I personally saw a lot of weaknesses in that fight. And I'm pretty sure other people saw a lot of weaknesses. And I think that's why Gervonta Davis and his team are really pushing to make that fight. Because I think they view that fight as a massive payday. And they view it as a very, very comfortable win for Tank. I don't really see it like that. I think Ryan Garcia does have the tools to beat Tank. I would favor Tank to stop him. But I don't think that's a gimme. I think that would be a good fight. I think that'd be a tough fight as well. I don't think that'd be an easy fight for Tank at all. But I'd love to see, I genuinely would love to see Ryan and Tank. But I do think if Tank goes in, Ryan goes and puts in a good performance, maybe Oscar De La Hoya and his team against someone like Isaac Cruz will be more confident to put him in with Tank, knowing that, he's just putting a good performance against someone like Isaac Cruz. So I personally think that this would be a perfect fight. And I think Oscar De La Hoya should be as aggressive as he can be in order to make this fight, because I think it makes a lot of sense for Ryan Garcia. I think from a commercial aspect, from a credibility aspect, especially a guy that some people thought Cruz beat Gervonta. Now, I don't think he did, but some people do think that. So from that point of view, if Ryan Garcia goes and blows Isaac Cruz out in 2 rounds or 3-4 rounds, wow, what a statement Ryan Garcia has made. And now all of a sudden, now that the people that thought, Gervonta would destroy Ryan Garcia, the opinion changes. I don't think, when I look at them stylistically, Ryan Garcia has a lot of tools that could potentially cause Gervonta trouble. He's long, he's rangy, he's fast, he's got power. And Gervonta is not a big dude. Although Gervonta has shown that he's got a good chin, could Ryan detonate a bomb that hurts Gervonta? Who knows? And he is fast. He has got really fast hands. So that for me is a very interesting fight. That for me would be a great fight. But I think Isaac Cruz fight for a comeback fight would be great, because Isaac Cruz right now is coming off a good performance, although a loss, but a good performance, and a performance which a lot of people rate him very highly. They rate him very highly. So personally, I want to see that fight. I want to see it. I want to see how Ryan Garcia does against someone like Isaac Cruz, how good Ryan Garcia is, because there was a lot of hype, and then I think a lot of people got off of Ryan Garcia because they thought, Ryan Garcia isn't that guy, after being struggling against Campbell. But Campbell, like I said, is a really good fighter, so there's no shame in that. So I want to see Ryan Garcia now in a tougher test than Campbell, because but then again, he last fought in January, I believe, so he's been a year out the ring, which is not ideal for someone like Ryan Garcia. Now, we know that he had a few health issues, mental health issues, which obviously are more important than anything. They're more important than boxing. But obviously, the layoff that he has had at his age is not ideal, because, when you're young, you should be fighting at least three, four times a year. Someone like Ryan Garcia should be fighting 3-4 times a year, especially at the level that he was fighting at. Yeah, so I'm really interested to see how Ryan Garcia does against someone like Isaac Cruz, because you wouldn't say Isaac Cruz he's a top 10 lightweight most likely, but he isn't considered like one of the elite lightweights. So it'll show us where Ryan Garcia is at. I think it makes for a very interesting fight. I think stylistically it's a good fight. And also, I think, the speculation or the rumors that we had about Tank and Ryan fighting, I think it would make that fight a lot closer. And also, it would make that fight a lot bigger, because a lot of people right now think Gervonta would beat Ryan Garcia. A lot of people right now think Gervonta would knock out Ryan Garcia. If Ryan Garcia goes in there and puts in a fantastic performance against Isaac Cruz, all of a sudden, I still think Gervonta will be a slight favorite. I don't think that he'd be favored as much, because Ryan Garcia would have just gone in and blown away an opponent that he had trouble with. One thing we must take into account, that styles make fights. So stylistically, each fight is different. But like I said, Ryan Garcia does have the tools to give Gervonta trouble. He's tall, he's long, he's fast, he's got power. That's in itself brings threats, danger. So I'm really interested. I'm really interested to see how Ryan Garcia gets on with someone like Isaac Cruz. I don't think it'll be an easy fight. I think it'd be a very tough fight. But I think it's a fight that he can win. And he might be able to win more emphatically than Tank. So I think it's a good strategic move from Oscar De La Hoya. So that's why I think they should be more aggressive in their offer, because what you got to realize is Isaac Cruz's value prior to the fight is not the same after the Gervonta Davis fight. So they're probably going to have to go in with a bit more money to secure that fight. Now, they could say that, well, we went in with more money, but they could have gone in with 10 grand more. Is that after the fight that he had with Javante, is his value a lot more than that, you know? So for example, if Cruz got paid 250 grand and they go in with 270 grand, he probably won't accept that, but they might have to go in with 350 or 400 grand, for example, you know, for him to accept the fight, because now he believes his value is a lot more than what they're offering. So yeah, I'm really intrigued to see how Ryan does. What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.